This is The Scoop for Wednesday.
I'm Josh Holton with the WMNF News headlines. Donald Trump revoked former President Biden's executive order phasing out Justice Department contracts with private prison companies. WMNF's Chris Young reports that prison companies stand to gain a lot.
The Florida Bulldog reports that the move came a month after the Trump-Vance inaugural committee accepted $1 million from the nation's largest private prison operators. The operators, Core Civic and GEO, which is based in Boca Raton, each gave $500,000. GEO founder and executive chair George Zolli gave an optimistic outlook for stock analysts after Trump's election. He said the, quote, aggressive policy towards immigration enforcement will lead to more opportunities for the company. Meanwhile, Trump has started sending migrants to Guantanamo Bay. The New York Times reports dozens of Venezuelan migrants are being guarded by troops there rather than civilian immigration officers. I'm Chris Young.
Yesterday, 80-year-old Native American activist Leonard Peltier was released from a Florida prison after spending 50 years behind bars. President Joe Biden commuted the double life sentence for Peltier, who was convicted of killing 2 FBI agents in 1975, which Peltier has claimed was an act of self-defense. Members of Peltier's legal team spoke about his release yesterday. Peltier will serve the remainder of his sentence on house arrest, but lead counsel Jennifer Jones calls it a step in the right direction.
One which ensures dignity for Leonard, something which has long been denied him, legally, medically, and socially, but will now be restored in the way of quality medical care, family, community, and cultural ties.
And his co-counsel Chase Iron Eyes from the Sioux tribe was brought to tears.
But tonight, he's going to sleep a free sleep. I just want to say thank you. Bleed Chapo, take courage. I say thank you.
And Peltier flew to his home in North Dakota on the Turtle Mountain Reservation after his release. The State Senate Environment and Natural Resources Committee advanced a bill to offer $750 million to Everglades restoration. The bill supporters also want to see smarter spending and more transparency in how water management districts operate. Republican State Senator Jason Brodeur sponsored the bill and hailed it as offering historic support for Everglades restoration and food planning.
What we're doing is we're trying to give them more opportunities to, if they need additional revenue beyond what the state and the feds give, and that they get through the taxing on the trim notices, that they have those additional options.
Trim notices refer to truth in millage, meaning taxpayers can find out how much they owe in taxes and to which governmental taxing authority. The property appraiser then sends this information to the property owner through what's called a trim notice. The bill also creates a loan fund to help districts afford flooding and sea level rise resiliency project costs. Money for the fund will come from a gambling deal with the Seminole tribe. That deal was made in exchange for allowing the tribe to offer online sports betting statewide and provide games such as craps at its casinos. The water management bill advanced favorably with unanimous support from the Environment and Natural Resources Committee. Governor Ron DeSantis yesterday signed a death warrant for inmate Edward James, who was sentenced to death in the 1993 murders of a woman and her 8-year-old granddaughter in Seminole County. James's execution is scheduled March 20th at Florida State Prison, according to documents posted on the Florida Supreme Court website. A Florida Senate committee met yesterday to discuss a bill preventing local governments from regulating presidential libraries. WMNF's Joshua Hightower has details on the proposed legislation.
Presidential libraries, maintained by the National Archives, serve as hosts for documents, records, and artifacts during a president's time in office. Republican Senator Jason Brodeur introduced Senate Bill 118. It would hand over regulation duties of any presidential library to the federal government. He says the bill will ensure a uniform approach to overseeing these institutions.
So this bill specifically preempts the regulation of the establishment, maintenance, activities, and operations of any presidential library to the state and defers regulation of such institutions to the federal government.
The measure passed unanimously in a Senate committee meeting. An identical bill has been filed in the Florida House of Representatives by Republican Alex Andrade. Joshua Hightower, WMNF News.
Today will be rainy with highs in the mid-70s. Tonight will be cloudy with lows in the mid-50s. Partly cloudy weather expected tomorrow with highs in the mid-60s. I'm Josh Holton with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.